What is up, guys? Welcome back to Motivate Her. Today I have my friend Bryan on the show. Bryan, I have known you since like 2019. I was thinking about that earlier. I think
I thought it was earlier.
maybe it has. Because it was either before or after I did the Miss Kirby Mag stuff. I thought, but I couldn't remember which one. But it was
It's
around.
been longer than that.
Has it?
I think so.
It's been a long time.
And also, this is called episode redo because I butchered the last one.
Take two.
Take two.
I feel like and I told him that was a mutual effort because
And my dog come in here mouth breathing and
it was a mutual effort.
it was all me. So I apologize to however many people watched that video.
We both apologize to however many people sat and watched that, and if you did, you guys are the real MVPs.
So this one will hopefully be better.
It's going to be better
Yes.
because it's us, and I mean that was another reason why the first one was good too. By the way, because number one, we're both easy on the eyes. I just call shit like this, okay? I mean we are, and then number two, people are probably like, right on.
They're like,
what?
I have no idea what he's saying. Yeah,
So take two. Here we are. Thank you for doing this.
absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
I wanted this one to be. She needs to delete that video
Immediately.
We'll just redo this.
I like I said, I was going back and reading some of the questions and I was like, okay, well, not sure where you got that one from, but put it back in the hat that you got it from and don't ever take it out again.
It's all good.
So I kind of been doing this on most of my, like, even on, so when I have had like women on the show, like if they have a specific story, they tell it. But I have had people on the show recently that I'm like, hey, will you come on my show? And they're like, well, I don't have a story. I'm like, first of all, you are your story.
Everyone has a story.
Exactly. Everybody has a story. And first or second of all, I come up with these random questions, which is kind of where I chopped up the last one. So I kind of revamped a little bit, and I'm gonna see where these hopefully will flow smooth.
I'm in a better headspace today.
Me too. Surprisingly, like I was thinking about that on my way here. I'm like, I just feel so relaxed because it's just been a very chill day.
And if you don't have anything going on the weekends, but isn't Friday evenings a much better feeling than all of Saturday?
Always. It's a
Every
Friday
time.
feeling. But it's a hashtag too. Oh my God. So 110%. Friday night, yes, let's go. So first question is, what does the present mean to you? Oh my God. Well, you guys got that was a big mess up on my end.
Redo it again?
Yes. So
Take three.
Welcome back to Motivate Her.
Yeah.
We just got this all on camera and I was so excited I forgot to hit record. But we're recording now.
Okay.
So thank you for doing this.
No, thank you for redoing this. This is
a
episode redo.
Episode redo, take two. I think that's what I'm actually going to title it if you don't.
Yeah, you tried it. Hey, it's yours. You do what you want with it.
So I was just explaining, when I have guests in the past come on, if they, everybody has a story. Depending, some people are really comfortable telling their story and some people are not comfortable telling their story.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just like, well, let's just bring me on and we'll see where it goes. But I always like to come up with questions to ask because, you only want to be so nosy. As far as asking, questions about them. So I redid yours and here we are. And the first question is, what does the present mean to you?
I think the only times that I pay attention to that is like when I'm with people, I'm doing something that I really enjoy, and that's when I notice like I'm just living in the moment, especially concerts.
Yes.
Concerts, because I can't stand all the phones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're not enjoying this moment right now. Just, not to mention, want to watch the concert through someone's phone that's right in front of me. So
that's really true. And all the concerts that I've been to, the ones that I remember so like vividly and the best are the ones where I wasn't on my, like you get some footage cool, but the ones where I wasn't on my phone.
I'm guilty of taking videos also, but if you're gonna do it like this. Hold it right here in front of your face, not up here in front of the person behind you's face.
Because nobody wants to see that.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is 110%.
And I'm only gonna record like maybe one song, just, so.
Yeah, you don't need it.
You don't need to fucking stand there. Just why even show up? Just watch it on YouTube.
Right, and then too, when you go to places, I have to say this, but when you go to a concert and maybe I'm just a concert snob. That is at least 50% true. But you're at a concert and you're like, this is a good show. It's a local show. I mean, unless you're at like a concert where like your friend is like in the band, big or small, like you're showed up to show out and support, and I think that's awesome. But when you got like these, like mid cover bands or maybe somebody a little bit bigger, and these people are like and they're recording the whole thing. I'm like,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Bless your hearts.
So, but yeah, like living in the moment. That's kind of when I start paying attention to it. Just like I said, out with friends. Just away from the norm.
Yeah.
So
I get that. When do you feel the most motivated?
It's usually like at 9 o'clock at work when I don't want to be there. I just want to go home and paint.
Right. I have all the ideas.
I'm not kidding. It's at least four days of the week. It's around the same time. I'm just like.
In the morning or
between 9-10 o'clock. There's something that it's like that creative wheel just kicks on, and
you're like, here we go.
So, but I mean, it just hits anytime, just random. So.
I get that. Which methods help your motivation? Like, kind of. Well, I guess you kind of semi-answered that. Like in the mornings, like when you're in, like, why do you think you feel like that around that time of day?
I don't know.
Maybe coffee's kicking in.
Yeah, maybe. It's just good coffee.
What makes you discouraged in pursuing desires? Like, is there ever any, like, do you ever feel like you kind of have, like, roadblocks whenever you're trying to?
All the time.
Like, how? Like,
I get discouraged a lot.
I do too.
Yeah, just.
Big time.
But it's mostly when I'm painting, not so much with photography. Unless I'm trying to just completely do something out of my norm. But the painting is where I start getting really discouraged at times, and so.
And so whenever I was here the last time, you were telling me though about a class that you had recently taken.
Yeah, I took a master class because there was this, roadblock. I just wanted to learn something for so long, and I watched all the videos on it, but it wasn't teaching me anything. Like, I wasn't understanding what it was that the techniques that they were doing. And so finally, after this class, just like, are you kidding me? That's it? That's what you're doing. Okay, yeah, so.
That's awesome.
And that's one of those, when you hear people say, invest in yourself, because I've always been self-taught. I've never taken classes to learn anything that I'm into, and I've had art classes like in school, like high school and stuff, but it was just different. It wasn't it was just art class. In high school it was advertising design, and it was just different projects. There was no, hey, if you want to learn this technique, these are the things you have to do. It was just, here's the project, do this, and you'll get great at it.
Well, yeah, because and I think that's, first off, I think that's awesome and kick-ass that you invest in yourself, and it was like probably one little minute thing, like you said, and you're like, what? But you took the time to
I had to.
Let me further my craft.
I didn't even want to start another painting until I can figure this one thing out,
Wow.
Like, I was telling my wife, you know, I wasn't motivated at all. Like, it was just this complete roadblock, giant wall in front of me, and I couldn't get over it.
That's awesome. It kind of helped you kind of.
Oh yeah, my confidence just skyrocketed. So.
Hell yeah, man! That's awesome. I'm proud of you. By the way, too, before this video is over, I'm gonna give you guys just a short little tour of his art room that we're in right now. It is for somebody that is self-taught. Like, even if you weren't self-taught, I would be like, I mean, it's amazing no matter what. But being self-taught, looking around me, I mean, dude, it's kick-ass. Like, I would probably be in this room all the time.
There's only two pieces that I didn't do. This one behind the light, and that mask on the wall.
That's awesome. You guys
this guy, that piece right there was from an artist I met in New Orleans on our honeymoon. He had this awesome gallery. I had my camera on me, and I took portraits of him because, you know, he just had this unique look. He was all inked up, tat everywhere, and his gallery was awesome.
That's so cool.
So yeah,
I think that'd be fun to take pictures of random people, like, especially if they almost like their face or something tells a story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm sure
he was a cool guy. We kind of communicate on Instagram every once in a while. So
that's awesome. Who has had a positive impact in your life?
Let's come back to that one.
Heard.
Because that might be like multiple people.
And it totally can be. But
then I have to think about it and like, well, I don't want to leave someone out.
Hey, everybody will get their turn.
Yeah.
There's their time. Is there anything that you would say demotivates you?
Yeah, just just being around negative people long enough.
Same, like negativity.
Yeah.
I don't even realize that, like, I was working with a girl and she was so sweet. Like, not somebody that you would be like, oh gosh, I don't want to be around this person. But she was constantly, it's almost like she complained to herself out loud, and I never noticed it. I never noticed it until one day and that's all I heard. And I was like, oh, and finally, like, months went by, and I don't care. I don't need to be motivated per se at work. But I sure shit don't need to be demotivated.
No,
and you're killing the vibes.
It's one of those things, like, I don't know if it's as I'm getting older or what, but like I've had to separate myself from certain people just because I was like, I just can't.
You're just too much. You're not, that's not right.
I'm like, how can you be this unhappy all the time?
Right, like, I get it. I have my days, trust me, but it's not every day, like, something good has to
Is there never a good day? Like, I don't get it.
That's kind of sad.
So I'm like, and I mean, you can try to encourage them or, talk to them about whatever, but you notice after a while it just doesn't help.
Yeah. So, people, if you want to help yourself, cool. If not, if you don't want to take my help, deuces. Yeah. How would you describe yourself in any way? Personality? I guess that would be the main way you would. And
one word? Moody. Moody.
Me too.
Sure.
Get a red ring on my finger, bitch is turning rainbow 24/7. Like, here she goes all the time.
Yeah, I guess that would be the honest answer. Moody.
I like it. I would probably say.
I don't like it, but.
Well, hey, I respect it, and I think I respect it because that would also, if I would probably do 3, but that would have to be my top one. And if I'm honestly gonna describe myself, and that you did, so hell yeah, man. Is there a motto that you live by?
Not really. Not so much. I guess I wouldn't call it a motto or advice. I guess it's something my mom said to me. Like, when I was younger, and it's really like the only thing that, like, just think twice before you do anything. She always just said, think twice before you do anything, and that's kind of really the only thing that stuck. And I'm like, and I think that's kept me out of a lot of trouble.
I mean, that's the one thing that stuck. Like, hell yeah, Mom.
I mean, yeah, it's kept me out of a lot of trouble.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope your mom hears it. I like that. What would you say is your biggest fear in life, if you have one?
Being alone.
Yeah.
Growing old alone. That would just.
That would suck.
Yeah. I've seen it, and it. Yeah. That would be my biggest fear.
Well, I don't think that's you got a damn good woman. So.
I'm spoiled.
You don't have to worry about that. You guys are they're freaking
well,
awesome.
Anything can happen. So
that is also true. That is also true. So. Very true. If you could go back and have a second chance with anything in life, would you? And if so, what would it be?
This is kind of like one of the when someone asks, like, oh, you shouldn't have regrets, and which I think is complete. Like, that's shit. Like, everyone has a regret,
Yeah.
But if I could change one thing, I wish I had never stopped skating when I was younger. When I moved to Sand Springs, I was like in 5th grade, and I started skating like really young. It was during, I mean, you're way younger than me, so you probably don't remember this.
Very much.
Yeah. But like when Tony Hawk was starting to make a big name for himself, that's when I started skating, and like me and my friends down the street, that's all we did. If we weren't at school or sleeping, we were skating, and like I got really good really fast. And like the guy that lived across the street from us, he had a half pipe in his driveway. I had never seen one of those before. We moved in across the street. I'm riding my bike up and down the street, trying not to like creep on him. And I was like, man, that looks so fun. And so finally, we started talking, and I just got into it that way, and then as I got closer to like junior high, I think I got into music when music started taking over, and I just stopped skating. I wish I hadn't stopped.
Brady says the same thing. I asked him though, I'm like, what? I feel like you guys are both would say the same answer, but I don't feel like that's a legitimate answer. Why not just pick up the skateboard and like, do you ever think about that? You do still skate, yeah.
I have a longboard, and that's what you get when you get old, because the other one I went to the skate park, and there's all these kids around, and I was like, bullshit, I am not falling in front of these kids, man. I'm just gonna lay there. So,
did you?
No, I was like, I'm not gonna try any tricks. Like,
you're like,
not in front
no
of
tricks today, kids.
No, I had to go to the skate park like at 2:00 in the morning when no one's around, and
so be it. And
then just have someone there to call the ambulance if something happens.
Teresa, because fucking kids. Okay, so have you had any major turning points in your life so far? And if so, can you tell us a little about it?
Like turning points as in like something positive, or just something that's happened?
Yeah, anything major that's happened that has had a lasting impact in your life.
My accident.
What?
Yeah, that was something I never thought would happen.
Yeah.
And
was it an aneurysm?
No, my artery on my spleen just ruptured out of nowhere. And even today, like, the doctors don't know why it happened. Nurses don't. Surgeon, they don't know.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm cool talking about it now, but like a little after, back when it happened, it was hard to even talk about,
Well, yeah, that's scary. We were all terrified,
but yeah, I kind of screwed up that birthday weekend. It happened the day before my birthday, so.
Yeah, the day before your, how old were you? How old did you turn? He's like, wait for me.
I'm 47 now, so.
Well, you look fantastic for 47, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and I think that, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that whole thing, it did just make you were always, I mean, to me, you were a positive person. You're like me. Yes, we're moody, but we're positive at the same time.
Yeah, I want to say I can hide my anger easy, but I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve, and like, I don't notice it, but people can see on my face.
It's what you're thinking is, it's like typing it out on. it's a. People are like, oh, back up. No,
but I guess that would be the thing that, because I would hang on to anger so long, but after that I'm like, man, all of this stuff is just stupid. There's no reason to be mad about this shit or that or this, and but I still like it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everything,
but I'm constantly like, if I get mad about something, just something stupid, I have to tell myself, and I'll literally just say it to myself, like, you're being stupid. You're just being retarded right now, so just stop.
Mine's, you gotta calm your tits.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting mad right now?
Yeah.
Like, if you were talking out loud, or if this was, I'm always like, okay, if this was playing out like in real life, your thoughts, like, people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try to, I love this question, but the way at first I had to read it a few times, so you can even just be like, hard pass, Jessie. Okay. Which of the following types of intelligence do you value most? And so they're categorized, supposedly. Logical and mathematical, social and interpersonal, or visual and artistic.
Probably the second one, even though I should probably say the third.
I thought you would say the third.
But I'd probably say the second one.
That was the one that I chose, because I'm like, well, I can, on these things, I'm like, yeah, totally. I feel like people on the social and interpersonal thing, I took a class one time, my work, crazy, it was like 10 years ago, my work at the time made me take this class, and it was on business development. I'm like, I got your business development right here for you. But it was basically on how to, and this whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, I do this like every day, in case you guys, I didn't say that out loud because I didn't want to be like a bitch, but I'm like, the class was about getting on people's different level, like if you're, like, how you communicate with people basically, and how you're not changing your personality, but you're just talking to them on their level of comfort on communicating. Like, if somebody talks a lot, or, if they're a loudspeaker, you kind of get loud with them, or I'm a chameleon when I'm around people, because I don't do it. I'm not faking my personality per se, but I want to talk and communicate with somebody in a way that makes them feel comfortable. Yeah. Because then you have a better conversation, no matter who it is. If you're trying to date some girl, or trying whatever it is, or an interview, the more it flows, you're just like, okay, I've had, I don't know. So I'm like, that's what came to my mind when I saw that. I'm like, yeah, I'm all social all the time. If money wasn't an issue, how would you spend your days? I guess I wouldn't say issue, but if you didn't have to make money necessarily.
I like to travel, so.
Definitely travel.
Yeah.
I'd get a boat. Like me some boats.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd travel. Just just travel.
I like that. So, what is a question that you wish people would ask you more?
That's a good question. I don't know. I have to come back to that one.
Okay.
That's two. We got to come back.
It is, and I'm not gonna forget. What would you try to attempt if you knew you wouldn't fail?
Motocross.
Oh my, that's.
That's something I wish I would have got into. Like, when I watch it, I'm like, it just looks so fun.
I feel like it's like skateboarding on speed.
It
Which does look fun. And I'm not gonna lie, when I see those people, like I've watched videos, Brady's been, I'm like.
They make it look so effortless.
Yes.
But there's been multiple crashes, multiple like broken bones, just.
What they did to get there, you don't wanna.
No, hell no.
But that's a good one, because if you couldn't fail or, die or hurt yourself, you'd be in the shit. Okay, if you restarted your life from scratch, do you think you would end up in the same place?
No.
Up to this point? No. Where do you think it'd be different in a better? Worse? I don't think.
Oh, yeah, better. Yeah.
You'd be a professional motocross rider. Duh. So what made you want to learn the drums?
When MTV was cool and they used to play videos, there was a Motley Crue video, Home Sweet Home video came on, and Tommy back there on the drums just looked like he's having the best time of his life. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do what he's doing. That just looks fun. I didn't know shit about music, but there was always music. Like, as a kid growing up, we always had music in the background. So, like Queen, my parents looked like AC/DC, Kiss, Boston, Zeppelin, Door, all that great stuff.
I was about to say all the greatness.
All the good stuff. Hendrix. So.
Yes.
So it was like that. I just grew up with that, and then getting to watch music videos, it was just like, oh fuck, I want to do all of this,
And it was probably an overkill. I'll admit. It wasn't like infatuation, but because I would feel that way when I would watch the VH1 pop-ups, and I would read random facts while I'm listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything about everything about music television, like somehow in some way it inspired the fuck out of me. Whether it was for fashion, you know what I mean, like, or whatever it was, but it just.
Well, I love music so much. And then seeing the visual parts of it, like the videos, like I didn't care about the big production videos. Like I wanted to see behind the scenes. I wanted to see like on the road, on the tour bus, backstage. I wanted to see all the stuff that you weren't supposed to see. Yeah. That's I wanted to see how it all became, I want to see how it happened.
And when they started MTV and stuff like that, they would do that.
They had videos like, the cool big production videos were cool too, but, that's, like when I make reels, I'm like, I think of music video. That's how I try to
go, because you want the video to go with which most people do that, but your reels are intense and they're good.
Excuse me. Well, I try to approach it like, because I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, and I've watched interviews with him, and sorry, he has the best soundtracks, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But like he's even mentioned, like he will write a scene because there's a certain song that would come on that he can just. You listen to a song and you get this vision, and that's what he'll do. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, that makes sense. So, and that happens to me all the time. Just listening to a random song will come on, and I can think, oh, I could do this or I could do that. Like, I would love to like direct music videos.
Oh my God.
But they don't make music videos. You know, like, I mean, they do.
It's like they make them just for fucking media now. Or, you know what I mean? Like for press or something. Like, I don't know. But
like, I feel like the reason they're made is the wrong reason.
Right.
It's like, oh, I need content.
Yeah, whereas used to, people did it because, number one, there was a whole entire station dedicated to it, but also, like, it almost kind of, depending on who the artist was, it kind of sometimes told a story with some.
Yeah.
You know, and it brought the visual to effect. I'm like, it was just, the nostalgia, just freaking sitting here thinking about it. I'm like,
I miss it.
Yes, I miss it so much. Sometimes I go and watch that shit on YouTube, or I'll put it on my TV, like, while I'm, you know, getting ready, just some, like I'm back in the day. I'm like, oh, there it is.
And there's certain songs that I listen to, like, every time it comes on. I don't listen to the radio. I've got thousands of songs in my phone, and I just hit shuffle.
Right.
So that's how I listen to music most of the time, is just shuffle.
Same.
And so a certain song will come on, and I'm like, oh, I've got this idea. It'd be really cool. But then I think, man, it's going to take a lot of work. I would need this. I would need a team of people to do this. But I was like, if I could do it, I know it would be cool.
Oh, are you kidding me?
So that's why I make the reels that I make. I'm like, that's the closest I can get for now.
For now. You keep doing it. Like, I'm serious, Brian. Like, I could see you directing, like, maybe if not a music video, like movies or like certain, I don't know shit about directors and stuff, but I think that you could do that.
When it comes to movies, for me, it has to be visually on point. Otherwise, unless it's just a awesome comedy or something, I don't care about that. But like thrillers, action movies, horror, whatever it is, I just want to visually be just locked into the movie.
And that right there, what you just said, is I feel like you're thinking about the person watching it, and you want it. You're like, I know what you mean too, because
like, photography completely changed how I watch movies. Like, once I really understood, I got into it, and the more I learned, and you need to.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna stop and start. The more you learned, like, about, like, just photography.
So the more I learned about it, I started paying attention to lighting. Like, I'm always trying to, like, you know, it's all about lighting, from what I understand. So that really changed how I watch movies. And now I'll watch movies like I used to think were really cool, and when I watch them, I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I like this? You know? But I guess, like, what I'm saying is, like, certain movies that got technical difficulties.
It's making, like, this weird noise. I'm like, stop it.
Oh, I hear it.
I'm just gonna beg you with that.
But I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry. Movies and visuals.
Mm-hmm.
And you quit watching movies because,
like, certain movies that I watch, and I'm like, you can clearly tell that's a movie set. Like, the lighting's all wrong, and I just start nitpicking it. You know, I'm like, I start breaking down movies, and I don't know, kind of screwed it up for me a little bit. Like, wow, I learned too much. But I'm also, I talk to Teresa about this all the time. I was like, it'd be so fun to work on movie sets. But then I'm like, do I want to know how all this, like, because I love movies. I'm a movie nerd, I guess. But part of the magic is you don't know how it was made.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, everyone knows how they do everything anymore, so it just kind of takes the fun out of it.
Like, so, yeah.
So that's why anymore, for me to be entertained by a movie, it's got to be on point, like, just all around, like, the whole thing. So when I start telling people, oh, you need to check this movie out, they're like, that was the weirdest shit ever. I didn't like that movie. I'm like, oh, you don't understand.
They're like, I think I do. Brian's like,
no, you don't.
But you don't. I love that. So if you, I feel like you kind of answered this already when you said, when your answer was moody. But if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
It would it would have to be along the lines of, I don't know how you would word it, but I get really hangry, if I, like,
Oh yeah.
it's bad sometimes.
Well, you know Brady. That man, like, I get it. He's come home and I'm like, he looked like, don't be standing in his visual way, because he's like, I'm hungry, and I'm like, why didn't you eat?
It gets. There's been some bad moments before, no lie. This was years and years ago, but I remember Teresa. We were gonna go. She met me for lunch, and we were trying to find something. I was like, we only got an hour, and we're trying to find something, and nothing was really open at the time, and I think it was a Chipotle. It might have been open. And we parked. I walked up. They were locked, right? So we drove down the street, and I was like, oh, nothing's. I was like, I was so fucking moody, like just. I was ready to burn the city down, and I was like, oh, screw it, let's just go back to Chipotle. We go in, and there's this damn line, and I turned around, I kicked the door open, and we just left. That is how angry I got.
Everybody was like, oh, that man, somebody needs to feed that man.
No shit.
Nobody likes, when you're hungry, you're hungry. Kind of like when you gotta go, you gotta go. When you gotta eat, you gotta eat.
Well, the bad part of it for me is I don't eat a lot of fast food. I hardly eat fast food at all.
Yeah.
So when I get, I'm like, this is the only thing that sounds good. Only thing that's going to fix my problem right now. And if I don't get that one thing, I'm still going to be angry about it.
Yeah.
But really, I'm not. I just get food and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. Where's the Snickers?
Where's the Snickers? That's funny. What is there a recent or any creative achievement that you are most proud
of? Painting wise, probably my new piece, the bands.
I'm about to show that you guys.
That's because it was the first one after I learned that technique.
From the master class?
Yeah.
That's badass.
And I didn't get angry one bit.
Not once while you're painting it?
No, not once.
Dude, look at your
flow.
And
I even hit roadblocks like always, but I was like, that's all right. Trust the process. I'll get through this. And I did it.
Yeah, you did. I love that so much. It's unlike any painting that I've seen of, not yours, but in a long time. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. The visual effects are really, really sick.
And then the musical part is, I want to say playing the Canes Ballroom, but really it was when we got to play the Brady Theater. And we opened up for this, and I don't think anyone's going to know who this was, but he's just some guitar wizard. The whole thing was a complete shit show.
Like the band, the original?
No. If you knew this, his name is Yngwie Malmsteen. He's just this, he's like, I don't know where he's from, but he's an amazing guitar player, but he's an asshole. Like, just a complete, there's stories about how much of an asshole he is.
Really?
So
is he that good on the guitar?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh, okay, well.
But, so, we got the opportunity to open up, and I'm so excited. Like, are you kidding me? We get to play this stage. And so, we get there early. It's anyone who plays in bands knows it's hurry up and wait. You got to get there so early to load in, and then you just wait. So we're waiting in the seats, like, roadies walking around doing stuff. They're getting the stage set up. and it's just me, or my band. We're the only ones in the theater, and he's about to come out to do sound check, and one of the managers or stagehands are like, "You guys got to leave." I'm like, oh, okay, like, how come? He's like, he doesn't want anyone around when he sound checks. Basically, get the fuck out. So I'm like, oh, man, I was like, I know, see, he's an asshole. So, if you've been to the Brady Theater, they had the upstairs blocked off. Like, they weren't going to open it up for the show. And I'm just wandering around. I'm like, I've never been in that place. I've never been backstage of that area.
Yeah.
Or that venue. So I'm just like, wandering around, just helping myself to whatever. So I walk upstairs. There's like no security anywhere. I mean, it's still load in.
Yeah.
And so I go to the edge of the stage, but up top, and I pull back the curtain, and I was like, man, I could film him right now being an asshole. And anyway, I'm just standing there watching. I was like, I'm gonna watch you sound check just because you told me I can't. And oh my God, his band's out there and they're all doing the sound check, and then they kind of run through a song and his keyboard player screws something, or I don't know what he did wrong. I didn't hear anything wrong, but I didn't know the music either. And he takes his guitar pick and just chunks it at him, and he's all pointing at him.
Oh my God.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Did you get it on camera?
No, I wish I had, man.
Dude, I'd have been like, say it again.
Yeah. But anyway, I left and I went and found the rest of the guys. I was like, I told you he was an asshole. You should have seen what he did. But anyway, our set, so we're the openers. Right before we start playing, some kind of power glitch happens, like the stage power, not the whole venue. Our 30-minute set, we got to play 3 songs, and we had to like haul ass through those 3 songs, so maybe 10 minutes we got to play.
Dude.
I would, like, all that excitement was just ripped away from me. I was so bummed.
I would have been too, because you guys probably rehearsed and practiced for. I mean,
well, in the venue they were cool. I mean, it was just a freak thing that happened. They don't know what happened.
I was about to say, of all things, just the
stage
equipment.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
And they were apologetic, and they're like, if anything ever comes up again, we'll hit you guys up. But I'm not in that band anymore. We don't play. So,
well, has there ever been a time where, and I mean, I do know, I'm asking this question, well, no, for me too, but also for the viewers, but when has there been a time when your art has been misunderstood or maybe misinterpreted in some way, shape, or form?
I don't know, really. I don't know that it has been. I just know I've gotten, just certain people, they're like, what's that? I'm like, well, it's this. Why? Because I thought it was cool. When it comes to the whole art thing, the questions and like, is there any meaning no, there's no meaning behind, like for me anyway, and I really don't know any artist like that truly, not that I know a ton, but I know a good amount, and it's like, we're just doing it because this is what we like to do.
Yeah.
This is cool. But there's no, no one hurt me when I was a kid. Now I got to paint it out or something like that. I literally don't know anyone that's like that. I
don't know a lot of obviously artists either. You're probably like you and my sister. I think I said that. Like, you guys are probably 2 of the biggest artists that I know. You as far as on a professional level. But I don't. Even when I talk to other artists or I'm watching, documentaries or what have you, like I don't ever really hear of anybody, like, it's just the mood and when I look at art, and especially like your art, but just in a generic form, and when I look at art that has been, you know, painted or drawn or what have you, I feel like you can, and maybe it's just, I'm sure it's just me, but I feel like I more interpret like the mood of not necessarily, or like.
I've painted things certain ways because of the mood I'm in, or just, you know, but as far as like a deep meaning,
I don't ever look at
like,
something and I'm like, I'm just
I'd rather it just be you. How does it make you feel?
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's why I don't really title a lot of my work. I just like, I mean, unless it's something obvious like Vans, like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think it's cool.
Yeah, and there it is.
Yeah. I mean, if you see something that I don't, that's cool. So.
Is there anything specific that you like most about yourself?
Not that I can think of.
All that riz over there, and you can't think of nothing. I'm just kidding.
I try to be a good listener.
A good listener?
Yeah. I think that's important. I don't think, I mean, when you have conversations with people, you can almost see them like veering off, like they just stop paying attention.
That is a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, am I not interested in you?
And that's fine if there's something on your mind or whatever, but I mean, if someone comes to me with something important, or, you know, I really try to like just zone everything out and listen to, you know, it might not mean anything to me, but if it's something that's important to them, you know.
I get, yeah. I feel like I was going to come back to our questions so I didn't forget, and that one was what best describes you. I feel like you kind of, I mean, that was kind of answering it, but if you want to add something to it, you are most certainly welcome.
I think that's it.
You think that's it?
I think that's it.
I'm trying to find, like, I don't want to miss. Oh, I have to go back and ask you that one, because I did ask you this on the last one. If you, just because it's random, if you had to give up one of your 5 senses, which one would it be?
The smell. Because my sense of smell is complete bullshit.
I can't smell ever since COVID. I can smell, but you gotta be like right up in my face.
I have stuck my nose in coffee beans before and not been able to smell it.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
I fucking love the smell of coffee, especially the coffee that you and Teresa drink.
I know, I'm telling you, it sucks.
That does suck.
But there's been times where Teresa will come home and she's like, the trash stinks. I'm like, I didn't smell it.
Well, go figure.
Yeah.
Got my goat because I couldn't smell it.
But there's times I'm like, I have to like, hey, do I stink? Because I can't smell anything right now.
I do that all the time. Like, obviously nonchalant, but I'm like, oh, because I'm like, I literally can't stink. I know I smell after I like work out and stuff, so I'm just like, don't be around me. But other than that, I'm like, spray. Yeah. Just try to go through life and not stink. Are there any little things that make you happy? Like, it can be something super, super small.
Yes. You know, I like this question because this is a question that, like, I've almost wanted to post this, but I'm like, do I want to hear everyone's bullshit?
I would have loved to hear it.
No. But yeah, no, like, the simple pleasures, just, you know, the simple thing, like, we don't get to very often, but when Teresa and I get to have coffee in the morning in bed with the dogs on the foot, you know, on top of the blanket, foot of the bed, and just have coffee, and that's it. Like, no one's up, it's quiet. That's just that. I love that so much, but we don't get to do it very often because we're always busy.
Same.
You know, something like that. Or during the fall, I enjoy driving unless I have to be, if I don't have to be anywhere, I like to drive.
Yeah.
But driving in the fall, just seeing like hearing the leaves hit the windshield and like just driving through leaves and seeing them all fly
I
up.
love that sound.
Like,
and the wind blowing them, and
as long as I got some coffee with me, you know, it's and I think all these little simple pleasures involve coffee somehow.
I 110% think they do. You guys are avid bougie coffee connoisseurs, but the good bougie kind. Okay, it's the good. I love getting coffee with your wife and you guys. I'm like, coffee, Turnhams, let's go.
Well, I'm about quality, not quantity.
Yes.
Yeah.
We made a few.
And I think that's something just happens as you get old. Well, I've noticed with certain people as they get older, it's like, I don't care how much I just want it to be good.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't want my coffee to taste like shit.
No. I mean, how are you going to enjoy it?
I make coffee in the morning at my work, and it's like the industrial one, you know, and they have the, basically what I do is I put four back in this. It got so bad. I don't know if she's watching, I'm not saying your name, but it got so bad, she typed me out a note, and she taped it to the coffee, because there's two or three coffee bins, because it's the big industrial ones. And she's like, this one's for strong coffee, and this one's for regular, normal coffee. I mean, and I'm like, what's the big deal? You guys, it's three bags of coffee. And my boss was like, some people might have caffeine, sensitivities. I'm like,
you don't need to blow their heart out.
Then don't drink coffee. She's like, Jessie. I'm like, I'm sorry. Because one day I almost got smart and wrote her a little sticky note back, and I put it up there. I walked away, and I was like, I thought twice about it. I was like, better not do that. And I went and grabbed.
Think twice before you do it.
And I did
Save
that
you a
day.
lot of trouble.
Oh, thank God, because I like having a job. Okay, I have two more questions for you. If you could be remembered for one thing, or no, I'm gonna flip the script. What do you want to be remembered for? Like, and you don't have to be necessarily deceased, but just as you get older, before obviously before your body leaves the earth.
Just to be a good person, like just all around, just fun to be around. It don't have to be fun, just like there's just certain people that you just enjoy being in their presence, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just a good person. I try.
You do.
I don't always succeed, but
nobody does. People in general suck sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm part of that.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job at that.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Is there anything that I haven't asked you during this that you want me to ask you, or that you think that we should talk about? Because we'll just...
Can't think of anything other than just... I made little goals for this year, and so far they're lining up.
They are?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I do think that's kick-ass. That I'm going to show you guys his room here in a minute, but for somebody as talented as you I was talking about this the other day with somebody. It is never, like, I picture myself as a constant revolving, like I'm never, it's not that I'm never good enough, but there's always room for improvement,
Mm-hmm.
always, at anything, because number one, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's always room to either learn something or improve said skill or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, just when you think that you can't get like any better, you told them to redeem yourself. But seriously, like, people don't look at your work and be like, wow, he should take classes so he could get better. I'm like, I look at your work, I'm like, that's probably a pretty penny that I don't have right now, but when I do, I'm coming for it. Okay. So I just think that's very inspiring and motivating to me, motivational and just all around inspirational. Well, because
it's one of those things, like, if you get a chance, just invest in yourself in some way, shape, or form. I think it will benefit people more than they realize.
110%.
I mean, I've noticed it. I just, like I said, I took that class. I was dragging my feet about it. I was like, it's a lot of money. What if I don't learn anything? And that's part of the reason it took so long to pull the trigger on it. It's like I was afraid I wasn't going to learn anything and just blow a bunch of money, and
No.
so, but yeah, I just invest in yourself.
Hell yeah, man, I like that.
And set little goals. That's another thing that's kind of helped me keep, like, oh, I did that goal, I nailed it, let's go on to the next one, and getting a new camera, that was part of my goal this year. I got it. So there's just other things I got lined out, and
I'm proud of you, man. I'm very proud of you.
the future looks bright.
Hell yes, I love that. And I want to say to that, I not that long ago, I used to just throw a bunch of goals, I'd say it out loud, but I would never really like write it down, be like, I want to do this, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that not that long ago, but I was like, you be realistic. Okay?
Yeah, they can't be like this. I mean, if you're gonna have a giant goal, let that just be the one thing, because if you have, like, I think I'm better at setting a bunch of small goals, because it keeps me like, okay, got that one done, let's go on to the next one, got that one done, let's, just keep going and going, instead of,
I'd like that.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
And I'm proud of you for doing this.
Thanks, man.
I know I told you, like, when you first started, you announced, like, I'm gonna do this podcast, I don't know, I think I told Teresa, like, this is gonna be her thing, like, she's gonna kill it. It's gonna be,
thank you.
It's gonna be awesome, because you are, like, the perfect hype person. Like, you hype everybody up.
Hey, you're gonna make me cry.
Like, for real. Like, Teresa and I will talk about that all the time. Like, I'm like, man, it doesn't matter who it is. You're always hyping someone up, and people need that.
Thank you. That means so much to me. So thank you.
And like I said, just this podcast, I think if you just don't pay attention to the numbers and just keep doing it the way you want to, and I think that's what's going to be it might not be quick, but it'll be real. And I think right now, today, people just want real. I
say that all the time. Thank you so much.
It doesn't matter what it is. I think people, when they see that it's a real, that, like, that's their heart and soul, that's their passion that went into that, I want to be a part of that.
That's all I want. And that's exactly, I'm like, this is one thing where you don't
want some conveyor belt, just manufactured bullshit.
No, and I don't, and I want this to be like, and I started it, like, you're the one that told me too. You're like, I love going back and listening to first, like, older episodes, or, because then you see, like, how someone has progressed, and that shit, I don't think a lot of the times, some of that might be them mastering their craft, but, because sometimes you have to.
I've gone back and looked at early photos that, like, just starting out photography, like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I look back at them, like, God, man, I don't want anyone to see that.
I think all of your photos were amazing, but we do that,
Yeah.
Like,
every artist is their own worst critic.
I can see that.
It is.
Well, thank you for saying that. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
Before I show do you want to tell everybody where they can go look at your artwork in case they want to?
Just find me on Instagram somewhere.
Just find him on the gram. He's here. He's there. He's a little bit everywhere. Yeah, 76 Hooligan Studio, I think.
That's the photography page, and then B. Turnham or something. I don't know.
B. Hooligan Art Studio.
Is that
I think so.
My art page?
Yes.
I don't even know what it is.
I'll share it. It's going to be on there.
Yeah. So.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely.
Come back, maybe.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Maybe you can come back and we can wrap up. Tell me, like, the second half of the year.
Yeah. We'll catch up on the other goals, and so we'll just have Teresa sit in on it, and
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Couples edition coming at you.
All right, episode or redo.
Redo, take 2. We out.
We did it.
Okay, I'm gonna show this.